Welcome to today's lesson on probability. Today we're going to be discussing what probability means, so let's go ahead and get started. We are going to begin today by discussing what probability means. Probability is the likelihood that an event will occur. The higher the probability is, the more likely an event is to happen. So we are going to begin today by using our diagram on the screen. Now when you're finding the probability, you want to write it as a fraction, and that's going to show you the likelihood that something will happen. For example, we're going to find the probability of pulling a blue shirt randomly out of a pile of all of these 9 shirts combined. So I'm going to write a fraction, and my denominator is going to be 9 because we have 9 shirts on the screen. I want to know if I were to randomly choose one of these shirts out of the pile, what the probability is of choosing a blue shirt. Now, since we have 1, 2, 3 blue shirts in all, that means that there's a probability of 3 out of 9 that I'm going to choose a blue shirt. Let's go ahead and find the probability of choosing a red shirt. Now again, we have 9 t-shirts in all, so I'm going to write 9 as my denominator. Since I have 2 red shirts out of 9 in all, the probability of choosing a red shirt is 2 out of 9. And lastly, I want to find the probability of choosing a gray shirt. So we have 9 t-shirts in all, so my denominator is going to be 9. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4 gray shirts. So the probability or likelihood of choosing a gray shirt out of all of these shirts combined is 4 out of 9. Let's go ahead and walk through a practice problem together. As you can see, we have an assortment of fruit on the screen. We have 12 apples, 8 oranges, and 10 pears. If we were to mix all of these different types of fruits into a bag and you were randomly to choose one piece of fruit, what is the probability that you would choose an apple? Well, first we want to know how many pieces of fruit we have in all, so we can write our denominator. We have 12 apples plus 8 oranges, which is going to equal 20 pieces of fruit, plus 10 pears, which is going to equal 30 pieces of fruit. And since we have 30 pieces of fruit in all, that's going to be our denominator. Now we need to find out how many apples we have. There are 12 apples. So that means we have a 12 out of 30 chance of choosing an apple out of all of the fruit combined. Let's go ahead and look at the likelihood of choosing an orange. Again, we already know that we have 30 pieces of fruit in all, so we're going to go ahead and write 30 as our denominator. But now we need to look at how many oranges we have. There are 8 oranges in all. So the likelihood of choosing an orange in this bag of fruit would be 8 out of 30. Let's say that all of the apples got eaten and you only have 8 oranges and 10 pears left. What is the likelihood of choosing a pear? Well, now we know our denominator is going to change because we no longer have 12 apples, so we have less fruit in all. So now we need to change our denominator. We have 8 oranges plus 10 pears. That means there's only 18 pieces of fruit in the bag. Now we can look at our numerator of how many pears there are in all. We have 10 pears. So the chance of choosing a pear out of this bag would be 10/18. Let's go ahead and try a word problem together. Marco is a 4th grader who bought 4 raffle tickets for the school fundraiser. Use the chart below to evaluate the probability of Marco winning the raffle. Well, first, we want to make sure we know how many tickets Marco bought, because that's going to be our numerator. And right here, we can see that Marco bought 4 tickets. So I'm going to put 4 as my numerator for my fraction, but I need to find out my denominator. How many tickets were sold in all? That's going to tell me the probability of Marco winning. So we're going to use this chart below to find out how many raffle tickets were bought in all. If we add up 127 tickets from 3rd grade, 209 tickets from 4th grade, and 187 tickets from 5th grade, that will tell us how many tickets were bought in all. So if we add these three together, we get 7 plus 7, which is 14, plus 9, which is 23. I'm going to carry my 2. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 8 is 12. And I'm going to carry my 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So that means 523 raffle tickets were sold in all. That means that's going to be our denominator. So the chances of Marco winning the raffle are 4 out of 523. Let's take a moment to review what you've learned in today's lesson. The probability of an event occurring is the likelihood or the chance that something will occur. For example, we have a group of jelly beans on the screen. What is the probability that you would choose a pink jelly bean out of the jelly beans that we have in all? Well, when you're trying to find the probability, your denominator is going to be how many items you have in the group. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 jelly beans in all. Now, since we have 7 jelly beans and we have 1, 2, 3 pink jelly beans, the probability of choosing a pink jelly bean is 3/7. If we wanted to choose a purple jelly bean, we have 1, 2 purple jelly beans, so that would be our numerator, and we still have 7 in all, which means we'd have a denominator of 7. If we wanted to choose blue jelly beans, we have 1 blue jelly bean out of 7 in all. And if we wanted to choose a green jelly bean, we have 1 green jelly bean out of 7 in all. So again, the probability is the likelihood or the chance that an event is going to happen. And the higher the probability, the more likely the chance is that it will occur.